watched fish leap from its green waves, tracing beautiful arcs in the blue sky, then falling back into the water. Sunflower sat under an old elm tree, quietly gazing across the water. If people on passing boats scanned the long riverbank, they would spot her tiny figure. They would feel the vastness of the sky and the vastness of the earth, a vastness that seemed to go on forever. One day, Sunflower was down by the river. Damaidi looked like a huge boat moored in the reeds on the other side. She saw 2 haystacks as high as mountains, one on the left, one on the right. She saw a malia tree in blossom, clouds of pale lilac dusting the treetops. She saw plumes of milky white cooking smoke curling up into the sky, then meeting and drifting as one over the reeds. Dogs were running through the streets. A rooster had flown up into a mulberry tree and was crowing. There was children's laughter everywhere. Sunflower longed to go there. She turned to look at the little boat that was tied to the old elm tree. She had seen it when she arrived, bobbing about on the water as though trying to attract her attention. A seed of an idea began to form in her mind. It grew like a shoot of grass pushing its way through the wet earth. As the grass fluttered in the spring wind, the idea took shape. I'm going to get into that boat and go to Damaidi. But did she dare? She looked back at the Cadre School, then nervously inched toward the boat. There was no landing, just a grassy embankment, quite steep. She didn't know whether to climb down facing the river or facing the embankment. She hesitated a while, then eventually chose to face the embankment. She grabbed hold of the grass with both hands and tried to find a good place to put her feet. Slowly and steadily, she began to climb down to the water's edge. Boats passed in the distance, helped along by the breeze. If anyone on board had looked her way, they might have been alarmed by what they saw, but would have been unable to do anything about it. As she lowered herself down, drenched in sweat, Sunflower could hear the water gurgling below her feet. Her small hands clung to the grass, holding on for dear life. A sailing boat came along. Seeing a little girl clinging to the embankment like a gecko, the man at the helm started to call out to her. Then, afraid that he might startle her, he stopped, although he worried about her long after he had passed by. Across the river, a buffalo was making a strange huffing noise like the whistle of a factory. Sunflower tried to concentrate, but suddenly the earth under her feet loosened. She clutched at the grass, but the roots came away in her hands. There was nothing to hold on to, nothing to stop her from slipping down. Filled with terror, she closed her eyes. Then she felt herself come to a stop. Her foot was resting against a small tree. She pressed herself against the embankment, not daring to move. She could hear the water flowing below. She raised her head to look at the bank, high above her. She didn't know whether to climb back up or keep going down. All she wanted was for someone to come, and more than anything for her father to come. She buried her face in the grass and clung on. The sun was high in the sky, and she could feel its warmth on her back. A gentle breeze blew past her, like softly flowing water. Sunflower began to sing. Not a city song, but one she had learned from the village girls. She had been sitting on the bank one day, listening to them singing in the reeds on the opposite bank. She couldn't see them well through the reeds, but now and then she caught a glimpse of their red and green clothes as they moved. They seemed to be cutting the leaves from the reeds. She soon learned the song by heart, and when they sang on their side of the river, she sang on hers. It was a beautiful song. Sunflower started to sing it now, her voice trembling. The rice cakes smell sweet. Their scent fills the kitchen. The leaves smell so sweet. Their scent fills the house.